scientist.
You see that? Right there. Look.
Oh my god.
A short trip into the most forbidden places has just revealed shocking glimpses of the unknown.
This really weird creature caged up.
Deep sea trenches glowing with alien light. Monsters no human was meant to lay eyes on. Reality glitching at a cosmic scale. Secrets nature tried to bury from us forever until now. Get ready to step into the unseen. Number 100, Lichen worm colony. This creature is called the tide fire, a lichen worm colony, blazing orange at low tide, its shell sealing in moisture while the sun beats down. Beautiful and strange, but even the tide fire cannot survive what comes next. Number 99, mining blast for dirt removal. This explosion isn't an accident. Engineers deliberately trigger it to tear away thousands of tons of earth in seconds, reaching minerals buried far below. This is controlled destruction on a terrifying scale, but sometimes the ground doesn't wait for human permission to explode. Number 98, gas geyser. In 2019, at the Indian Hills Golf Course in Lamp Shores, Ontario, the ground split open without warning.
At Indian Hills, and it smells like propane.
Columns of natural gas and water blasted skyward, reeking of propane, shooting mud high into the air. Authorities declared a state of emergency. The earth was venting pressure that had been building underground for years. Beneath the surface, other creatures go through their own violent transformation. Number 97, tarantula molting. When a tarantula outgrows its skin, it flips onto its back completely helpless and tears itself free. It cannot eat. It cannot defend itself. Its new body is soft and vulnerable, like a creature born twice. It has no choice but to lie there and wait. Some forces on Earth have been waiting much, much longer. Number 96, Kilauea eruption. Halemaumau crater is erupting right now, with lava fountains reaching 1,300 feet from two main vents. This is the same volcano responsible for the deadliest eruption in American history in 1790. Killing up to 800 people. Today, people propose marriage against its glow. The mountain that once claimed hundreds of lives is now a backdrop for love. Humans build things that are just as explosive and far less predictable. Number 95, SpaceX Starship liftoff. The most powerful rocket ever built is igniting its engines and tearing free of Earth. Starship carries people and cargo to orbit, the Moon, and eventually Mars. Every launch is controlled chaos, millions of pounds of thrust pointed at the sky. But some of Earth's most powerful forces have been moving silently for thousands of years, hidden beneath walls of ancient ice. Number 94, Perito Moreno Glacier. While most glaciers on Earth are retreating, Perito Moreno advances. It creeps forward daily, grinding rock beneath its weight, then calves massive ice walls into the lake below with the sound of a cannon. It is part of the world's third largest freshwater reserve, one of the few geological forces that is growing, not dying. Nature creates wonders quietly, but some of its smallest creatures perform in full view of anyone paying attention. Number 93, sand bubbler crabs. At low tide, hundreds of tiny sand bubbler crabs pour out of the sand and get to work. Each one sifts grains through its mouth, extracts algae, and deposits a perfect sandball behind it. When the tide returns, every trace vanishes, swallowed back into the sea. Then they do it all again. Small creatures leave small marks. Humans have grown barely believable things. Number 92, massive pumpkin. From the species Cucurbita maxima, the same family as the squash, the record holder weighed over 1,270 kilograms. Grown under specific nutrient regimes and obsessive care, these specimens look less like vegetables and more like small spacecraft. Even something this enormous is nothing compared to what drifts, silent and invisible, through space. Number 91, black hole illustration. This isn't a photograph. It's an illustration based on what astronomers have confirmed with mathematics. a black hole with gravity so total that not even light can flee it. Recently, scientists discovered medium-sized wandering black holes that are not anchored to any galaxy and move freely through the universe. Somewhere out there, one is moving right now. Thankfully, some of the most destructive forces remain closer to home. Number 90. Storm wave at port. Cyclone. Harry drove this wave into the port of Catania, Sicily, and the footage looks like the ocean decided to end the city. Boats, barriers, and breakwaters obliterated in seconds. The Mediterranean rarely sees storms like this, which is exactly what made it so catastrophic when it came. Not all danger arrives with noise. Number 89. Hunting blind. A hunting blind, sometimes called an invisibility blind, is a portable tent that renders the hunter completely invisible to prey. You are standing in a field, looking directly at a spot, and cannot see the person inside it. Hunters use them constantly. The animal never knew the threat was there. Some dangers don't hide in tents, they light up the entire sky. Number 88. Lightning burst. Lightning is a 30,000 Kelvin electrical discharge, 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun, and it strikes the Earth 100 times per second. A direct hit can stop a heart from across a field. And over open ocean, where it rarely reaches, something rarer still falls from the sky. Number 87. Heavy snow over open ocean. Ocean water is too warm for snow to form and settle, which is why this footage stops people cold. Heavy snowfall is blanketing the open sea. The air temperature had plummeted faster than the water could compensate. A brief, eerie inversion of the natural order. Below that water, creatures exist that look like they belong in a nightmare. Number 86. Blue ribbon eel. Juvenile blue ribbon eels are jet black. As they age, they turn electric blue. Fully mature females shift to vivid yellow. The same animal, 3 entirely different appearances across a lifetime. No warning, no gradual fade. Just a complete transformation. Not every strange creature lives in the ocean. Number 85. Short-beaked echidna. The echidna is one of only 5 mammal species on Earth that lay eggs. It has a beak, it has spines, it has no nipples, its young drink milk that seeps through patches of skin. It is an evolutionary throwback, a creature that should not exist in the modern world. It yet does, calmly surviving in Australia as if none of this were unusual. Number 84. Brahma rooster. Brahma roosters were bred in the 1880s, and today they stand nearly 3 feet tall. A fully grown rooster can weigh over 12 pounds. They move with the slow, deliberate confidence of an animal that knows nothing in the yard will challenge it. Even the largest birds look small beside what comes next. Number 83. Falling ice glacier. The ice wall stands 60 feet above the waterline, and another 200 feet extend below. When it calves, the break travels faster than sound. Tourists watch from a viewing platform as mountains of blue ice collapse into Lake Argentino, sending waves rolling in every direction. Raw geological power, visible to the naked eye. On land, something else tears down the landscape just as easily. Number 82. Elephant knocking down a tree. African elephants are the strongest land animals alive. When a bull decides a tree needs to come down, it doesn't hesitate. It leans in with its forehead and pushes until the roots surrender. Trees weighing over 1,000 kilograms topple in seconds, not for food. Sometimes just because the path needed clearing. Strength at that scale reshapes entire landscapes over time. Some animals take a quieter approach to survival. Number 81. Snail eating a carrot. A snail's mouth contains a radula, a ribbon of teeth, sometimes over 14,000 of them, that rasps food apart like a biological file. It hangs upside down and works through a carrot with mechanical precision. No rush, no urgency. Just a system that has worked for 500 million years without needing improvement. New Zealand's national bird hunts with a completely different strategy. Number 80. Kiwi bird. The kiwi is the only bird on Earth with nostrils at the tip of its bill. It cannot see well. It doesn't need to. It hunts at night entirely by smell, pressing its beak into the soil and sniffing out worms and insects buried underground. An icon of an entire nation, and almost nobody outside New Zealand knows how strange it actually is. Some creatures don't hunt by smell. They hunt by leaving perfect patterns behind. Number 79. Clamfoot. What looks like a tongue is actually the clam's muscular foot, a powerful organ it uses to anchor itself, burrow, and move across surfaces. One clam species, the ocean quahog, can live over 500 years. The oldest recorded specimen was 507 years old when it was caught. It had been alive since the Renaissance. Number 78. Kayaker in Class 5 rapids. Class 5 rapids are one step below unrunnable. The water moves faster than most people can sprint, over drops that would destroy an unprotected body. This kayaker runs Poca Gorge, threading through hydraulics that can pin a boat underwater and hold it there. One mistake is the last one. Some freedom doesn't involve whitewater at all. Number 77. Horse running free on beach. Arabian and Akalteki horses reach speeds over 40 miles per hour on flat ground. Watching one run without a rider on an open beach and back, hooves barely touching the sand, is one of the few things that looks exactly as cinematic in real life as it does on screen. But horses carry a dangerous flaw. When injured, their instinct is to keep running, and that always makes it worse. Number 76. Dracula parrot. Pesquet's parrot, the Dracula parrot, has a bare, featherless face like a vulture's, jet-black wings, and a chest of blood-red feathers. It evolved this way to eat sticky fig pulp without matting its face feathers. Nature found the most gothic solution available. Birds aren't the only things drifting through the ocean looking like they don't belong. Number 75. Unreal jellyfish. Jellyfish have no brain, no heart, no blood. They are 95% water, propelled by a bellows of muscle, and they have been doing this for 650 million years, predating the dinosaurs by 400 million years. Scientists struggle to study them in the wild because they disintegrate on contact with nets. The ocean protects its oldest creatures well. It also protects the largest one ever. Number 74. Blue whale. The blue whale is the largest animal that has ever existed on Earth, not just alive today, but in all of recorded prehistory. Up to 100 feet long, up to 200 tons. Its heart is the size of a small car, and its heartbeat can be detected from 2 miles away. This animal exists right now, alive in the ocean. Its face can resemble something unexpectedly familiar. Number 73. Koi with human-like face. Certain koi, through random pigmentation and unusual pattern development, form markings on their heads that mirror human facial features. Eyes, a nose, and a mouth arranged just wrong enough to be deeply unsettling. The fish has no idea. It simply swims. Your brain, however, cannot stop processing it as a face. Number 72. Wet hamsters. A hamster wet from a bath is a visual reminder of how much of what we find cute is texture. Without the fluff, the structure underneath is rodent-like, small, sharp-faced, and hollow-cheeked. The animal hasn't changed. Your perception has. Some creatures are bizarre in a different direction entirely. Number 71. Frizzle Polish chicken. The frizzle gene causes each feather shaft to curl outward rather than lie flat. The result is a chicken that looks permanently electrocuted, feathers spiraling in every direction, giving it a mane that would suit a rock star. The mutation is harmless. The chicken is completely unbothered by its appearance. Number 70. Scallop swimming. Scallops swim by clapping their shells together and jet propelling through the water. They have up to 200 compound mirror-based eyes arranged around the rim of their mantle, detecting light and movement. They use them to watch for predators, then flee by flight. Schools elsewhere operate at an entirely different scale. Number 69. Sardine Run. Off the coast of the Philippines, millions of sardines form bait balls, spinning, compacting tornadoes of fish that can be 20 meters across. Each fish moves in response to its immediate neighbors, creating a single organism out of millions of individuals. No leader, no plan, just physics and fear. The ocean can fill with birds just as suddenly. Number 68. Flock of birds around a boat. In certain coastal waters, a small boat draws thousands of seabirds instantly, wheeling, diving, screaming, and competing for scraps. From inside the boat, the sky disappears. The noise is extraordinary. Then, as fast as they came, they scattered. Sometimes the fish don't wait for the birds at all. Number 67. Sardines leap onto fishing boat. Off the coast of Taiwan, a school of sardines fleeing from predators below panicked so completely that they launched themselves out of the water, straight onto the deck of a nearby fishing boat. The sea looked like it was boiling. The crew had caught thousands of fish without a single net. Below the water, a different kind of spectacle moves in silence. Number 66. Starling murmuration. Hundreds of thousands of starlings are moving as a single fluid shape, shifting, contracting, stretching, and reversing, with no leader and no signal except proximity. Each bird tracks 7 neighbors. The result is something that looks deliberately choreographed but emerges purely from individual instinct. Predators like falcons cannot lock onto a single target inside the mass. Some animals navigate water with the same effortless authority. Number 65. Moose swimming. Moose are elite swimmers. They hit 6 miles per hour in water and dive to 18 feet to graze on aquatic plants, holding their breath, submerging completely and resurfacing calmly. An animal that stands 7 feet at the shoulder, diving underwater to eat. Not every swarm in nature is beautiful. Number 64. Locust swarm. A single square kilometer of desert locusts contains up to 80 million insects and consumes enough food in one day to feed 35,000 people. They move with the wind, traveling up to 90 miles a day, and a major swarm can cover hundreds of square miles. Crops disappear in hours. The swarm doesn't stop until the food does. Some animals are strange in a gentler way. Number 63. Giraffe close-up. A giraffe's tongue stretches up to 20 inches and is dark blue-black, a pigmentation that protects it from sunburn during the hours it spends feeding in direct sunlight. Their hearts weigh 25 pounds and must generate twice the blood pressure of a human heart to push blood up that neck. Up close, the scale of a giraffe is genuinely disorienting. In the ocean, scale reaches a different extreme. Number 62. Dolphin stampede. Megapods, dolphin groups numbering over 100,000 individuals, have been documented off the coast of California. The water turns to white foam for as far as the camera can reach. Researchers don't fully understand why they form. The dolphins surface, breathe, and move in perfect unison for miles. Not all crowded waters are wild. Number 61. School of fish and fish farm. In overcrowded fish farm pens, carp surface en masse and gulp air, a behavior that emerges when dissolved oxygen in the water drops too low. Thousands of open mouths at the surface, shoulder to shoulder in water that barely moves. It looks industrial because it is. A completely different kind of peace exists not far from scenes like this. Number 60. Swans on a partly frozen lake. A mute swan and its gray cygnets glide through the gap between ice and open water, the cygnet's bodies small enough to move where the adults cannot. Swans are territorial and aggressive, but in moments like this, they look like the lake belongs to them by birthright. Even the largest animal in the ocean needs help sometimes. Number 59. Baby whale rescue. A juvenile whale beached on rocks near shore, exhausted and dehydrated, the tide falling. Rescuers were in the water for hours, using their bodies and hoses to keep it cool. Eventually, it rolled free and swam out. The ocean has moments where it strikes back without warning. Number 58. Billfish leaps onto fishing boat. Mid-fight with a hooked marlin, the fish launched itself completely out of the water and landed on the deck. 200 pounds of panicking billfish with a spear for a face, thrashing among the crew. These are the fish that have put their bill through boat hulls. The crew survived, barely. Some animals share the water far more peacefully. Number 57. Dolphins leaping near Florida bridges. Bottlenose dolphins in Florida have learned to use the wakes from boat traffic near bridges as launch ramps, breaching repeatedly in the same spots at predictable times. They do it for fun, not to hunt, not to escape. Pure play.
Go for 3.
Yeah!
That was so cool.
The ocean hides communication systems we are still only beginning to understand. Number 56. Parrot tongue. A parrot's tongue is thick, muscular, and covered in sensory receptors. It handles food the way human hands do, rotating seeds, cracking shells, and feeling for weak points. The same tongue helps parrots mimic human speech with anatomical precision. It's one of the most functionally advanced tongues of any bird on Earth. Humans have built structures that are just as over-engineered. Number 55. Eshima-Ohashi Bridge. The Eshima-Ohashi Bridge looks vertical from certain angles. A steep, dramatic rise and fall that photographers use to make it look like a roller coaster. It was built this way to allow large ships to pass beneath without a drawbridge. The solution to one engineering problem created one of the most visually alarming bridges on the planet. Some engineering moments don't stay on land. Number 54. Ship launching waves. When a massive ship is launched sideways into water, the displacement wave it generates can reach nearby shores with enough force to capsize smaller boats. The water doesn't absorb the impact. It transmits it outward in every direction, thousands of tons of water at speed. Humans also use explosions to move that much earth on purpose. Number 53. Camerata controlled explosion. The Camerata 2 explosion was designed to reshape a mountain to support dam construction. The detonation sequence was timed to milliseconds to direct the debris in a specific direction. Seismologists monitored the surrounding hillsides in real time. The mountain moved exactly where they planned. Not all explosions destroy, some clear the way for something quieter. Number 52. Japanese-style garden. Every element in a traditional Japanese garden is deliberate, from the angle of every stone to the placement of each plant, chosen to guide the eye and slow the mind. It is landscape design as philosophy, built to communicate calm through geometry. That same geometry can become violent in the wrong hands. Number 51. Fractal wood burning. Lichtenberg figures, the patterns burned into wood by high-voltage electricity, are fractal, self-similar at every scale. The same branching shape appears whether you look at the centimeter or the millimeter level. The electricity follows the path of least resistance through dampened wood and burns a permanent record of its journey. Humans use electricity for spectacle. Cities use it for identity. Number 50. Taxicab art display. In Times Square, hundreds of yellow taxis were arranged into the exact shape of the Ghostface mask from the Scream franchise, visible only from above. Each cab was a single pixel in an image that no individual driver could see. The scale is required to make a piece of art visible from an altitude, from street-level spectacle to digital fear. Number 49. Digital artwork of monstrous creature. This skull-based creature was built entirely in 3D software. Geometry sculpted, textured, lit, and rendered to look more organic than anything real. The uncanny valley works in reverse here. It is too detailed to dismiss and too wrong to accept. Digital artists now build monsters that the eye cannot immediately classify as fake. Fire in real life builds its own monsters. Number 48. Fire tornado. A fire whirl, often called a fire tornado, is a rare event that forms when extreme heat mixes with swirling winds to create a spinning column of flames. These occur during large wildfires. They make firefighting extremely dangerous by hurling burning debris far away and shifting direction quickly. While flames rage above ground, the earth below can swallow entire streets without warning. Number 47. Meteor Fireball. This meteor was half a meter to a meter wide when it entered the atmosphere over Cairns Airport, Queensland. It detonated with enough force that people in surrounding towns heard the boom. A rock from space, traveling at 40,000 miles per hour, vaporizes itself in the sky above a commercial airport. The same sky can produce something entirely peaceful. Number 46. Aurora Borealis. The aurora borealis is caused by charged solar particles colliding with atmospheric gases. Oxygen glows green and red, and nitrogen glows blue and purple. It happens 60 to 200 miles above the Earth, silently, at speeds no vehicle can match. One of the few natural phenomena that genuinely looks like special effects. Some of our own launches are more spectacular when they go wrong. Number 45. SpaceX rocket explosion. A SpaceX resupply mission to the International Space Station exploded 139 seconds after launch. The investigation pointed to excess pressure in the liquid oxygen tank. The rocket was lost. The payload was lost. The launch pad was damaged. Every successful launch contains the memory of this one. The next step in reusability required a maneuver that looked like failure. Number 44. Starship belly flop maneuver. During re-entry, Starship rotates broadside to the atmosphere, belly down, falling like a skydiver using aerodynamic drag to decelerate. It looks like a controlled crash because it essentially is. Then, at the last possible second, it flips upright and fires its engines to land. A 160-foot rocket doing a backflip. From rockets to road trips. Number 43. Mazda MX-5. Miata with Christmas lights. The first-generation MX-5. Miata is the most raced production car in history. Lightweight, rear-wheel drive, near-perfect weight distribution. One owner covered theirs in hundreds of Christmas lights and drove it through the night. The most successful sports car platform ever built, deployed for maximum cheerfulness. Some machines are built for a completely different kind of thrill. Number 42. Jet blast at Skiathos Airport. At Skiathos Airport in Greece, the runway ends almost at the beach road. When a Boeing 757 spools up for takeoff, the jet blast reaches the road at over 100 miles per hour. Signs warn visitors. People come anyway, grip the fence, and get launched. A family was blown into the sea. The signs were not ambiguous. Some pilots fly into something far larger on purpose. Number 41. Hurricane hunters flying into eye of hurricane. U.S. Air Force Reserve crews aboard WC-130J aircraft fly directly into active hurricanes at altitudes of 5,000 to 10,000 feet, through the eye wall, through updrafts and downdrafts that can shift the plane hundreds of feet in seconds, into the dead calm of the eye. Inside, the stadium effect. The eye wall curves upward on all sides like an open-air amphitheater. Then they fly back through the wall a second time on purpose. Growth can be just as strange as destruction. Number 40. Mushroom Grow Kit. Gray oyster mushrooms colonize their substrate block underground, an invisible network of mycelium threading through the material before a single fruiting body appears. Then, over 72 hours, clusters push through the surface and expand visibly. One of the few organisms you can watch grow in real time. Glaciers also move, but you only notice them when they collapse. Number 39. Shanghai Sinkhole. A groundwater leak from excavation work on the Jiamen Metro line caused the road above to lose structural support, and a busy Shanghai intersection simply disappeared. The ground didn't crack, it swallowed. Cars, barriers, and a section of road dropped into the void before anyone could react. Geology doesn't send warnings. Some natural phenomena raise very different questions. Number 38. King Alfred's cake fungus. King Alfred's cake fungus, Daldenia concentrica, grows on dying and dead hardwood, particularly ash. It looks exactly like a charred lump of food, hard, dark, and round. Slice it open, and you find concentric rings like tree growth, recording years of fungal expansion. It was used historically as a fire starter. The carbonized interior smolders for hours after ignition. One glacier in Pakistan serves a purpose almost as elemental. Number 37, Baltoro Glacier, Pakistan. The Baltoro Glacier in Gilgit-Baltistan is the gateway to K2, the world's second highest mountain and statistically the most dangerous. Trekkers cross 39 miles of moving ice to reach base camp. The glacier shifts up to 70 centimeters a day, grinding rock to powder beneath it and reshaping the mountain landscape in geological slow motion. Not all mountains are cold. Number 36, Mount Etna eruption. Mount Etna has been continuously active for at least 2,700 years, making it the oldest recorded volcano on Earth. Lava flows regularly reach the lower slopes. Officials close the summit during eruptions to prevent deaths from pyroclastic surges, which can exceed 700 degrees Celsius. Europe's most active volcano erupts on a schedule that has outlasted every civilization built nearby. Etna erupts with fire. Some volcanoes erupt something far stranger. Number 35, Mud Volcano. Mud volcanoes erupt when underground methane gas builds pressure and forces thick, cold slurry to the surface. They look like miniature, slow-motion volcanoes, but the mud is not magma and the surface temperature is near ambient. Azerbaijan hosts nearly half of the world's approximately 1,000 mud volcanoes. The Earth is venting gas that has been trapped for millions of years. Some fungi have been here nearly as long. Number 34, Tinder fungus. Hoof fungus, Fomes fomentarius, grows like a bracket on tree trunks and causes white rot that hollows the wood from the inside. What you see on the exterior is a fraction of the organism. It has been used as tinder for fire starting for at least 5,000 years. A piece was found with Otzi the Iceman, frozen in the Alps since 3,300 BC. Some forests don't rot, they just bend. Number 33, Crooked Forest, Poland. In a forest near Gryfino, Poland, roughly 400 pine trees grow with a sharp J-shaped curve at their base, all bending in the same direction, all planted around 1930. Every tree above the curve grows completely straight. The leading theory is human intervention. The trees were shaped young, possibly to curve timber for furniture or boat building. Then the war interrupted the harvest and left them. No one confirmed it before the people who knew died. It remains unexplained. Number 32. Blood Falls, Antarctica. Blood Falls on the Taylor Glacier is iron-rich brine from a subglacial lake, water that has been sealed under the ice for approximately 1.5 million years with no light, no oxygen, and extreme salt concentrations. When it reaches the air and breaks through the ice, the iron oxidizes instantly and runs down the glacier face, turning red. Scientists found a living microbial ecosystem inside it. Life surviving in a sealed pocket of salt water for 1.5 million years in Antarctica. Some ice doesn't fall. It breaks in front of an audience. Number 31. Glacier calving in Patagonia. Chile's O'Higgins Glacier drops ice walls into the lake below without announcement. The break travels through the ice faster than anyone on the water can react. This footage was captured from a personal watercraft close enough to be hit by the wave. The people filming didn't know it was coming. Some things underground are more beautiful than threatening. Number 30. Massive crystal. Amethyst of this size forms over tens of thousands of years within volcanic rock cavities, with silica-rich water slowly depositing quartz crystal layer by layer. The purple color comes from iron impurities and natural radiation, altering the crystal structure over millennia. Someone found this embedded in ordinary-looking stone. The Earth hides its most astonishing work until you break it open. The Earth broke open violently in Russia in 2025. Number 29. The 2025 Russian earthquake. In 2025, an 8.8 magnitude earthquake struck Russia, one of the most powerful seismic events in decades. It killed people and devastated infrastructure across the capital region. The shockwave crossed the Pacific. Japan issued evacuation orders for nearly 2 million residents as a 1.3-meter tsunami moved toward the coast. The ground in Russia moved, and an ocean away, people ran. When the earth trembles, glaciers far away feel it too. Number 28. Glacier collapse. Climate change has accelerated the rate at which glaciers calve. The terminal face becomes less stable, cracks propagate faster, and collapse events that once happened annually now happen monthly at some sites. This footage from Laguna San Rafael National Park captures the front wall of a glacier crumbling in sequence. One section triggers the next, like dominoes of ice. Something else falls from the sky, but it is solid. Number 27. South Carolina hailstorms. This homeowner in York County, South Carolina, didn't realize the hail was large enough to tear through an umbrella until the umbrella was in pieces. Hailstones from this storm shattered car windows and stripped bark from trees. Flash flooding followed. The same system dropped golf ball-sized ice across multiple counties. Hail is dramatic. A spinning column of air tears things apart in a different way. Number 26. Tornadoes in Brazil. A tornado struck the Fragata neighborhood of Pelotas, Rio Grande do Sul, an urban area in a country not typically associated with tornado activity. It destroyed structures, tore trees from the ground, and leveled fences across multiple blocks. Remarkably, no one was killed. Before a tornado forms, the sky gives a warning most people don't recognize. Number 25. Rain shafts. Rain shafts, tall columns of precipitation visible beneath a storm cell, can indicate a wet microburst forming. When the cold air descending inside the shaft hits the ground, it spreads outward at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour. That is tornado force wind with no rotation and almost no warning. Meteorologists call them the most underestimated weather events in aviation. When too much water falls too fast, it doesn't just blow. It transforms entire landscapes. Number 24. Meltwater flood. In Yamula village, weeks of accumulated winter snow melted faster than the ground could absorb. The low-lying village channeled the surge from surrounding fields into a single rushing front. The ground itself appeared to move, a mirror of fast-moving water where a road had been hours before. Everything in its path was carried with it. Not all radiation disasters move this fast. Number 23. Elephant's foot. In 1986, after the Chernobyl reactor exploded, the melted nuclear core mixed with concrete, sand, and structural steel and flowed into the basement of Reactor 4. It hardened into a formation called the Elephant's Foot. When discovered, it emitted 10,000 roentgens per hour, enough to kill a person in 300 seconds of exposure. The photograph of it was taken with a camera on wheels, rolled down the corridor because no human could be in the same room. It still sits there today. Number 22. Mudslide. A mountain slope saturated by heavy rain loses the friction that holds it together within minutes. The debris flow that results can exceed 35 miles per hour, faster than almost anyone can run, and carries boulders, trees, and structures as if they weigh nothing. It doesn't look like a flood. It moves like one. This follows heavy rainfall or snowmelt and avalanches. Number 21. Avalanche in Nepal. A massive avalanche struck the North Annapurna region in Nepal. Tons of snow and ice roared down the mountain toward a base camp. The area is notorious for avalanche risks, highlighting the dangers of climbing and trekking in the Himalayas. Number 20. Thermal shadow experiment. When a nuclear weapon or intense radiation source detonates, thermal radiation travels at the speed of light and burns shadows into surfaces. The object blocks the radiation, leaving a pale outline on everything behind it. This experiment replicates the effect at a small scale using a controlled heat source and a solid object. The pale shape left behind is the negative of something that was there for a fraction of a second. Some dangers are found in the most ordinary objects. Number 19. Phone explosion while charging. Lithium-ion batteries fail due to thermal runaway. A small internal short circuit generates heat, accelerating chemical reactions that produce more heat until the electrolyte ignites. This phone exploded in a child's hands while charging. The temperature at the point of rupture exceeds 1,000 degrees Celsius for a fraction of a second. The device showed no warning. Some nuclear events were much larger and just as sudden. Number 18. Underwater nuclear blast. Operation Hardtack, 1958, the Marshall Islands. A nuclear device detonated beneath the ocean surface creates a cavitation bubble that expands and collapses in milliseconds, followed by a base surge, a wall of radioactive mist 2,000 feet high, moving outward in every direction. The water column shoots skyward as the bubble vents. Everything in the water within miles is destroyed. The same explosive technology, applied precisely, is used for something constructive. Number 17. Planned explosion for rock breaking. In phosphate mining operations in Jordan and elsewhere, explosives are laid in precise drill patterns to fracture specific rock layers without destabilizing adjacent areas. The geometry of the blast determines which direction the rock moves. Get it right, and you open a seam. Get it wrong, and you collapse the mine. Precision at the scale of mountains. Some places on Earth glow without any explosion at all. Number 16. Glowing lagoon. Bioluminescent lagoons found in Puerto Rico, the Maldives, and a handful of other coastal locations glow electric blue when disturbed. A boat's wake traces light. A swimmer's arm leaves a glowing trail. The water appears lit from inside. It is one of the few natural phenomena that is genuinely more beautiful in person than in photographs. The source of that glow is microscopic. Number 15. Bioluminescence from plankton. Dinoflagellates, single-celled marine plankton, produce light through a chemical reaction involving luciferin and luciferase, the same biochemical pathway fireflies use. When water disturbs them, they flash. In a dense bloom, every movement in the water produces light. Scientists believe the flash startles predators or attracts larger predators to eat the ones consuming the plankton, using light as a weapon by proxy. The ocean holds more optical phenomena than any other environment. Number 14. Turquoise waves. The turquoise color of shallow tropical water is caused by light scattering in low particulate, clean, clear water that is shallow enough for the seafloor to reflect. From above, it is almost impossible to believe it is real. The color shifts as you move from the shore into deeper water, turquoise to teal to deep blue-black. This same ocean at night can produce its own light. Number 13. Bioluminescence as defense. Some deep-sea organisms use bioluminescence offensively, flashing at a predator to startle it, or producing a glowing secretion that illuminates the predator and makes it visible to its own enemies. The anglerfish uses it as a lure. Firefly squids synchronize their bioluminescent flashes across entire bays. The ocean has been running an arms race with light for hundreds of millions of years. The sky produces its own impossible shapes. Number 12. Full circle rainbow. From the ground, the horizon cuts a rainbow in half. From an altitude, a plane, a helicopter, or a drone reveals a rainbow as a complete circle. The physics was always there, a full circular arc of refracted light, with the shadow of the aircraft at the exact center. Most humans will never see it. It exists every time conditions are right. We simply don't have the vantage point. The sky near the mountains can produce something even more disorienting. Number 11. The UFO-like cloud. Lenticular clouds form when fast-moving air crests a mountain range and oscillates in a standing wave on the downwind side. The cloud forms at the crest of each wave and evaporates at the trough, creating a stationary lens shape that appears to hover with no visible connection to the mountain. It doesn't move because the wave doesn't move. It glows orange at sunrise or sunset, caused by ice crystals at its edge. Humans have misidentified lenticular clouds as spacecraft for as long as both have existed. Some things that look like rain aren't. Number 10. Water burst. A ruptured water main under pressure produces a column of water that, from a distance, looks exactly like localized rainfall falling upward. Water erupts straight into the air, spreads and falls around a specific point. A perfect circle of rain with clear sky overhead. The infrastructure beneath every city is a pressurized network that keeps itself invisible until it fails. Ice tells a different kind of story. Number 9. Clear ice in Alaska. Most ice is white because trapped air bubbles scatter light. Where water freezes slowly with low dissolved gas, as in certain Alaskan river bends, the result is optically clear ice. You can see to depth through it, watch the current moving below, and place an ice screw anchor into something that looks like it shouldn't hold a person's weight. It holds. It's structurally identical to opaque ice. Your brain simply doesn't believe it. High above, the ocean collides with the wind. Number 8. Snowfall in Austria. A mountain road in Austria, early winter. Snow falling in total silence. The kind of footage that takes 10 seconds to register as real. The weight of accumulated snow on pine branches. A fence line vanishing. The road is not yet closed. In Louisiana, silence looks very different. Number 7. Frozen trees in the Louisiana swamp. Lake Foss Point State Park in Louisiana is a subtropical swamp that rarely freezes. When a polar vortex event pushed temperatures below 10 degrees Fahrenheit, the cypress trees, Spanish moss, and swamp water froze completely. Spanish moss hung in solid, translucent curtains. The trunks were sheathed in ice an inch thick. A landscape that normally breathes with humidity, locked solid. Ice isn't the only thing that holds its shape in midair. Number 6. Smoke vortex ring. A smoke vortex ring, formed when gas bursts through a circular opening at speed, is a toroidal structure stable enough to travel hundreds of meters before dissipating. The gas rotates inward at the edges and forward at the center, maintaining its shape through fluid dynamics alone. They've been observed emerging from volcanic craters, damaged transformers, and controlled explosion displays. A perfect geometric form, made of nothing but gas and motion. Light builds its own geometry. Number 5. Rainbow formation. A rainbow requires 3 things: sunlight, water droplets, and an observer position so the sun is behind them. The droplets refract light, separate it by wavelength, and reflect it at exactly 42 degrees for red and 40 degrees for violet. You cannot walk toward a rainbow, it moves with you. The arc you see is unique to your position. No two people see the same rainbow. After heavy rain, the ground holds its own strange surprises. Number 4. Lawn blisters. After heavy rain, water becomes trapped between saturated grass and an impermeable layer below, such as compacted soil, clay, or a drainage membrane. Surface tension holds it there as a bubble. The grass above inflates like a waterbed, stretching the roots without tearing them. Step on it, and it deflates. It is entirely harmless. It is also deeply, viscerally wrong-looking. In extreme cold, something more delicate forms. Number 3. Frost flowers. Frost flowers form on new sea ice when the surface temperature is significantly colder than the air above the open ocean. Water vapor crystallizes into intricate petal-like structures, each one unique, growing up to 4 inches tall. They are so fragile that a single gust of wind destroys them. They form overnight and are gone by morning. No photograph could do them justice because by the time most people arrived, they were gone. Number 2. Workers' clearing pipes. A different kind of accumulation builds inside pipes. What accumulates inside industrial drainage pipes over the years, compressed grease, sediment, mineral deposits, and biological matter, emerges as a single solid plug when workers clear it with high-pressure equipment. The material is ejected in continuous dense columns. It is a record of everything that passed through the pipe, compressed and preserved. The infrastructure of civilization turned inside out. Above ground, The sky has its own walls. Number 1. Haboob dust storm. A haboob forms when a collapsing thunderstorm pushes a wall of displaced air forward, carrying dust and sand in a front that can reach 5,000 feet high and 100 miles wide. This one moved over Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, the wall visible on radar as a solid line, advancing at 30 miles per hour. From outside the city, it looked as if the desert were erasing Phoenix. Visibility inside dropped to 0 in under 2 minutes. The airport went dark. This is number 1 because it is not a rare event in an inaccessible place. It happens in a major city. It looks like the end of the world, and then it passes and everything returns to normal, as if the sky never decided to become a wall of sand. Thanks for watching. Now check out the videos popping up on screen for more unbelievable stories.